Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to another episode of Hello Hello the podcast with me, Jens, and Remo.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
This is episode 27.
Episode 27. Nice. Look at that. My God.
It's my age. Oh,
So old.
I know.
Honestly. You know what? I feel like I'm that old today though because I am so tired. It's not even funny. Like, I've sort of woken up a little bit and I look a bit better now. But right before we started recording, when I opened up my recording software and the camera turned on, I was like, holy shit, I look dreadful. Like, I still have glassy eyes. I'm looking at myself now. I still have quite glassy eyes because I'm just so tired. Don't wake up at 3:30 a.m. for work. It's really not worth it, guys. I can tell you that now, safely. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's no.
That doesn't sound
No matter
fun.
how much they offer to pay you, it's not really worth it.
I mean, the money's good, right?
Look, no, the money's all right, yeah, because we do get what is it, like a bonus pay for being up so early, so
Do you get
it's not that bad.
personal question, but do you get, don't have to answer, but do you get any bonus pay for being an essential worker?
No.
That sucks.
So we did get a bonus, and I'm gonna say bonus with an asterisk next to it.
Yeah.
During the first lockdown, like the main bulk of lockdowns last year,
Right.
we did get a bonus. Sort of like once we started like opening things back up, or like once we sort of started getting things under control a little bit in the company, not so much in terms of like the virus itself, because obviously it's back and it's sort of running rampant a bit again. But they did give us a small bonus depending on who you were. So like casuals didn't get that much. Part-timers got a little bit more than the casuals. Full-timers got a little bit more than the part-timers. And then like management and stuff like that got a sort of a larger bonus again. But the sort of weird thing was they didn't tell us that it was going to be taxed. Because they were sort of considered like part of... like it was just a bonus pay. It wasn't so much a bonus in the sense of like it being a gift, you know? And so they told us all, they were like, it's not going to be delivered through your normal payday. So we get paid every Tuesday night, at my work. And so they said it was going to be paid through on like a Wednesday or a Thursday. So I was sitting there on like Thursday night, I think it came through, and I was sort of waiting for the notification from my bank to say, hey, you've been paid. And they said it was going to be $250 because I'm a part-timer. And I was like, that's not so much, but like it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
And so then I got the notification and it was like $178 something. And I was like, that's a bit weird. Hang on a minute. And then I sort of passed it. I was like, all right, cool. Maybe they just stuffed it up or something.
Yeah.
Next morning I woke up to an email from the company that was like, they had a lot of complaints apparently that people were like, where's the rest of my bonus? Like, what's going on here? And they were like, no, don't you guys don't understand? It's been taxed. And some went to tax, some went to super. So I was like, okay, that's not so bad. Like, at least some went to super.
Yeah.
So, it could be worse, but it was, kind of amusing.
Oh, man. Sucks.
But, yeah. But I guess the only thing is as well, like, I guess I'm still quite lucky that I do at least have a job. A lot of people out there are struggling and stuff like that at the moment because obviously Sydney's back in another lockdown, so a lot of unessential businesses are closed. I am at least very lucky that I still do have a job. I probably don't need it as much as some other people. Like there's people out there that need to pay rent, they need to pay mortgages and all that.
You're lucky you've got that under control with your parents and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, still. So
yeah,
it could be a lot worse, and it is for a lot of other people out there. So I do feel for you,
you can do it yourself.
Yeah, hopefully just stay inside, please. Love of God.
Play some games.
We're all gamers here. I hope that we're listening. Just sit inside, catch up on your pile of shame,
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm doing.
Or do a DIY
like,
hobby.
I took the time. Exactly. Pick up a new hobby, Like, Spotlight and stuff is still open. Go learn how to crochet or, just knit something. It's quite relaxing, I do have to say. I used to know how to crochet when I was younger. I've sort of lost it, but it is quite relaxing, so
I really want to learn.
take the time. It's not that hard. It's just
not.
like any other sort of like new skill or hobby. The first like couple of hours are really tough, and you sort of like, you're like, is it worth learning? You always question yourself like, why am I so dumb? But then you sort of start to like pick it up, and you're like, holy shit, this is cool.
I still really want to make my own rugs, but that's a very expensive hobby.
I told Emma, I was like, I want to get into this too, but it's an expensive hobby, because
up front,
and it's up front, and probably once you start sort of getting better and better at it, like, you're going to use less wool, there's going to be less waste, there's going to, like, you're going to start to pick up all these sorts of things, so you can save a little bit. But I do want to get into that because there are some, like, cool rugs that I want to make, like,
you can do it the long way around and do punch hole.
It's what is it, your friend Bice's partner, Annabelle, she used to do that.
Well, she has a tufting
She would do
rug.
punch hole and stuff like that. And she now gets... I've seen on her Twitter, she now has a tufting, tufting gun. So she's upgraded, but... And they look epic, man. Those Pepe rugs look epic. They're great.
I gotta commission her to do something.
I was thinking the same, because I did see her on Twitter. She was like, if anyone wants anything done, let me know. So I was like,
What would you get done?
Considering it. I don't know.
Baby Yoda?
Like... No, I feel like I would get a Pokemon rug to start with, or maybe like a shoe rug, like a sneaker rug,
Oh my god, get your the ones you wear.
My Shawns? Yeah. See, it would be fun because I got like a little shoe rack, so it'd be fun to just sit it in front of the shoe rack, as like a little try-on mat thing. Like, I don't know.
That'd be really cute, actually.
Yeah, and like one day, eventually, when I move out, I do have a sort of the dream, or I guess the idea of like my office, or like whatever I put my computer in and stuff. I sort of want to make that like the fun room. So I'm going to have a bunch of these fun little rugs just scattered throughout the room, like, and yeah. So that's the plan eventually. One day. Who knows? But today, I guess we should just get into the news, because we have a couple of fun ones today. I saw this right before, when I was having lunch, so a couple of hours ago, right before we started recording. But Hunt Showdown. Do you remember when we played Hunt Showdown all that time ago, James?
I do. I do miss it. I miss that menu.
I do. It's banging, man. Oh, the sound design and just the audio and stuff like that in that game. Maybe we should go back to it. I was considering it after reading all these articles. I was like, you know what? I think so. Maybe we'll save it for a stream or something. But for those that don't know, Hunt Showdown is sort of like a battle royale type game-ish.
Yeah,
it's like a PvP, PvE.
It's weird to call it a battle royale, but it actually kind of is.
It's sort of in the sense that, like, you're mainly fighting the environment, so it's mainly a PvE.
Yes.
But there's always the chance, and 9 times out of 10 it does happen, but you're going to run into other players as well, so it turns into a PvP at some point. But it's sort of like basically, it says in the title, a hunting, tracking type game where you're given these tasks and you have to hunt down these like godly creatures and kill them, vanquish them, and then basically escape with some sort of substance from them, I guess.
It's great. It's
really fun.
Lovecrafty. The art and the style of it's really cool.
It's very different.
So this is very surprising.
I can't think of anything else.
This thing to be added is very, I don't know, seems very left field.
I mean, when I was reading up on it, they did say, and I hadn't realized it before, but they had also referenced, or at least like added in sort of homages to Back to the Future. And Die Hard as well at some point, like, in the game. So I guess they're pretty big fans of pop culture and and putting in little Easter eggs and whatnot. But what they've added in this new map that they're releasing soon is, like Jen said, the very leftist feel they could get. I feel they've added Shrek's house to the map,
and the potty.
Yes, and the very essential outhouse, the toilet, has also been added. There's a photo up behind us for the YouTube watchers. It's spooky how similar it is. Like, it looks like it's straight out of the movie.
It's great.
It's great. I don't know why they added it. I guess people were maybe asking for it, because a lot of the maps that are already in Hunt Showdown sort of revolve around a swamp, or they have multiple swamps in them at certain points. So I guess it's fitting in that sense that they do add the most popular, I guess, swamp dweller out there, Shrek himself and his house.
Oh,
it'd be cool if they added like a little, like, I guess enemy or something.
I was
that
gonna say, do you
revolves
think
around
what if
that.
Shrek was the enemy?
Yeah,
And he's
I mean,
like-
not Shrek himself, because that would not fit the whole theme and vibe of the game. But like if they
Well, he
they
gets
created
very
their own creature-
territorial in the movie.
He does.
And he's like, he
He
yells,
does.
"Get out of my swamp," or whatever he says.
But can you do the accent for it
Oh,
though? Because I
absolutely
can't remember how it sounds. Like,
Donkey.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, you got it. No, I feel like it would be like very off-putting if like
Yeah.
the lime green Shrek was part of it. I feel like it would be more fitting if they sort of crafted their own creature like they have with all the other sort of bosses or mini bosses,
Yeah.
and just named him Shrek, or like given him a name that was an homage to Shrek. Like maybe they could just use his ears or something, like those little weird ear nub things that he has. I don't know how I would describe it, but
Don't be mean
you could
to
probably
Shrek.
whack that on him. Look, I'm
born
just
that
trying
way.
to describe his ears. Like they're not normal. Obviously, but yeah, I'll check it out. I'll probably update Hunt Showdown
Yeah, if
after
it's,
this,
if it's
so we can
included in the
give it a
game,
go or
then
something.
for sure.
Yeah, why not? But having said that, those that haven't tried Hunt Showdown, I would recommend it. They do occasionally do free weekends and whatnot, as do most sort of multiplayer games these days. So you
Yeah.
can maybe wait for a free weekend and give it a go. I will warn you, it will slap you around the first couple of times because it is quite a challenging game. But we picked it up pretty quick.
You
Jens,
pick it up pretty quick.
It's you sort of figure it out, and
I think it's
and stuff like that, and you can,
3-player Mac. You can play with
yes,
3 other
that
people.
sounds
2 other
familiar.
people.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Which
Would
is, I think that's pretty good. A lot of
Yeah.
games these days are like 4 players only, or 2 players only, or
Yeah.
it's kind of hard if you have an odd numbered friend group to find a game that would accommodate all of you at once. So
It's like
it's good that they have that at least.
when you go to an amusement park with just 3 people.
Yeah.
And it's just like, sorry,
Yeah.
we got to take turns
It's
being
so
the solo
awkward.
one.
Like, yeah, I know.
It sucks.
And you're always going to do that awkward. You always do. You get in the awkward cart with the other guy
Yeah.
that has also been kicked out of his friend
Yeah.
group. Like
Just the
it's like,
reject
hello.
cart.
Yeah, welcome, friend.
Uh,
No, it's but I thought it was kind of fun. A fun way to start off the episode this week.
Yeah.
Before we jump into an insane amount of money spent on a game, absolutely bonkers. Take it away, Jens, please.
So I feel like we did a similar thing previously in this episode with something sold for a crazy amount of money. Oh, the chicken nugget.
Yes, which is kind of stupid, but
It is stupid. This makes sense somewhat, but
a little bit.
the nugget didn't. Anyways.
No, yeah.
So Super Mario 64, we all know this game.
One of my favorites of all time.
Classic.
An absolute
A
classic.
very much sealed version of this game has just been auctioned for a ridiculous 1.5 million US dollars, which is like 2 million Australian dollars, roughly.
2 mil, yeah.
Could you imagine the tax on that? All right.
Bro, that's so dumb. That is, oh my god, absolutely incredible.
And you
when
know
I
what?
saw it, like, this is from a couple of days ago, and
Yeah, a
I
few
was
days
like,
ago.
no way, man.
Does it make
Like,
sense to you? Because I didn't grow up with this
no.
game, so I don't
I mean,
know.
I can. It sort of makes sense when you start to read into it a bit more, and you figure out that
yeah.
so this was a graded copy of the game. So there are companies out there that will, like, you send them your product, or you give them your product, like a show or a convention or something, and they will grade it for you. So if you're familiar with like trading cards or anything like that, you can grade a trading card, and it's obviously worth a bit more if it's gets a good
Like,
grade
perfect.
and all that sort of stuff. Exactly. And companies out there do similar things for video games and comics and a whole bunch of other sort of collectible, I guess, memorabilia material. And so this game, it was released in 1994, so it's a relatively old game. It's not as old as what some other games are out there,
Right.
but it's a relatively old game now. Coming up almost 30 years now, it'll be, is it not? think, if my
1994?
math is- yeah.
26?
So it's 26 now. It's coming up almost 30 years.
No, 28.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not good at math. But it was graded at a 9.8 A++. So it was practically undamaged. Like there was maybe one or two ever so minuscule scuffs on it, or like, you know,
Yeah,
it's
pretty
still
damn
in
good.
its it was still in its plastic wrap. So there might have been like one air hole in the plastic wrap to bring it down those 0.2 marks or something, you know. Like it's an incredible grade. And the auctioneer, so Heritage Auctions that ran the auction for this item, said it was probably just one of fewer than 5 known still sealed copies in this good a condition. Which is where it gets probably most of its value from, is the fact that
For sure.
it was such a high grade and the fact that there's such a low population of these in circulation. And obviously it being an iconic game and stuff like that as well, you know, Mario, one of the most recognizable video game characters or popular culture characters of all time. You know, like my parents aren't gamers in any sense of the word, but I could walk out and show them a photo of Mario and be like, who's this? And they'd be like, oh, that's Super Mario.
Yeah.
You know, like
I think he is
everyone
the
sort of
most
knows.
recognizable character in video games.
I would think so. And that's what I was thinking too, because the article that I read, it goes on to say that this sale for Super Mario 64 just recently beat... it has now become the highest selling video game like auction of all time, you know? And it just recently beat out The Legend of Zelda for the NES, which just last week, funnily enough, sold for $100,000 US dollars, so around 150, 160 thousand Australian dollars. Sorry. And so I was thinking, I was like, geez, that's kind of crazy that like The Legend of Zelda is worth 10 times less than Mario. But then I sort of sat there and thought about it, and I was like, you know what? No, that actually does make a bit of sense, because you know, I could walk up on the street to someone and show them a photo of Link, and they'd be like, ooh, like if you're a gamer, you'd probably know, but if you weren't really, I don't think you would be able to get it straight away. Whereas if I walked up and showed you a photo of Mario, you'd be like, oh shit, that's Mario. Like,
I wonder who bought
so
this.
It didn't say anything, obviously for safety reasons, you know, like, with most of these auctions too, people, like, you can offer to say, like, I bought it and stuff like that, you know. You can offer the auctioneer to say, like, it was bought by this person or this company or this, like, holding group, or, you know, yada yada. But 9 times out of 10, they're gonna stay anonymous just out of safety and all that sort of stuff. So for good reason, you know.
That's nuts.
It's absolutely incredible.
I think either the same day or the day after, I saw a TikTok of a guy who showed off their, like, video game collection, and it had a sealed
copy of, I saw that too. I saw that exact same one.
And a sealed Mario Majora's Mask, and, like, so many other games. So and then all the comments was like, bro, this thing sold for 1.5 mil.
He's sitting on a gold mine. Yeah. It makes me sad. Most of my, all of my N64 games, sorry, because I got the console like a couple of years after. Like, I was born in 1998, and then I got the console maybe around 2001, 2002, something like that. You know, maybe a couple of years after.
Yeah.
I got all the games secondhand from, like, my cousins and stuff that upgraded to, like, the PS1 or you know, something. And so they didn't have all the boxes, or, like, they didn't have any games sealed or anything like that. So I could have had maybe, you know, a couple of $100 sitting there if there was a box in a relatively good enough edition. But I don't think I would still ever sell it, because I cherish those games way too much. Like, they were my childhood. So, and I still play it every now and again. Like, I still pull out the N64 and, like, you know, give it a run around and stuff. It's good fun. Nothing beats it, you know. The memories that were made for that console. So,
I bet.
But yeah, absolutely insane. 2 million Australian dollars for a game that you can't even open and play. You know, like,
no,
can't even open and play it. But I guess congrats to the person that bought it. You now own a literal piece of history and video game history.
Yeah.
So, and a pretty good one at that. You know, Super Mario 64, one of the best, if not the best, and one of the most iconic Mario games of all time. You know, the first sort of 3D Mario game ever, and then it spawned all of the other 3D Mario games that are so good. It was, I think, a worthy investment. You know, if you can afford it, why not go for it? You know.
But do you want to go for this next piece of
Well,
news?
I was going to say, you found this one.
Sure.
I didn't know anything about this. Apparently, Ubisoft is opening a studio in Australia? Question mark?
Maybe. So, like, I'm pretty sure... No, they still have their offices in Australia. But they just don't...
they have an office that it's like for their community management and like, you know, their event coordination and stuff like that for the conventions, and it's not for developing anything. Yeah.
And so basically this comes under the speculation because of job ads that suggest that maybe there's going to be a game studio like running under it. So obviously by Ubisoft, but maybe they're gonna be back in business in terms of game development. And so
at least in Australia, Ubisoft are obviously still making games.
But for Australia, it shut down for the game side, and then they might be bringing it back up. So the roles are wide ranging, but based on the job description, the studio will be a AAA game team in collab with Ubisoft San Francisco, who made Rocksmith and the South Park games.
Okay.
And for the level design role, multiplayer map design experience is a plus, while the environment artist role will focus on full maps creation on a multiplayer game in a realistic setting. So...
what are they making?
Multiplayer something.
What are they making?
Realistic...
That has to be made in Australia?
Well, it doesn't have... Oh, yeah,
like,
why would they
I guess it doesn't have to be, but like...
But why would they choose to open up the Oz offices for...
I mean, the thing is, like, it sounds... Obviously, these job ads are targeted towards people that are living in, like, Oceania or Australia, you know, Australia, New Zealand, that could easily sort of access the Sydney offices and all that sort of stuff, or wherever they decide to put the offices up. But it seems kind of ambitious to open a studio and then straight away make it for a AAA game that obviously seems like it's going to be a big online multiplayer, you know, huge sort of experience type thing. I don't know. My first thought went to like another Watch Dogs, you know?
Right.
I was like, because they have multiplayer, obviously, multiple features in all the Watch Dogs games, and they're also create their maps, like, you know, obviously quite realistic and based off real world locations, you know. So like Watch Dogs 2 was San Francisco, funnily enough, Ubisoft San Francisco. It's also partnering with this studio. Watch Dogs 3 was London. Could Watch Dogs 4 maybe be Australia? Like, I don't know. That'd be kind of fun, I think.
Good speculation, actually.
I mean, that was just the first thing that my mind went to. Obviously, it could be a totally new IP. It could be something completely different that Ubisoft has never ever like made before, or they could have acquired the rights to another sort of IP that we don't know about yet. But that was just my first thought, was like, what multiplayer games do Ubisoft make? Watch Dogs. Okay, cool. Watch Dogs. Maybe it was that. Like,
Siege.
I hope it's Siege, man. Oh, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? Well, that's the thing as well. Like, I've seen a couple of days ago, they're making... I forget what the title was called, but it was like they were making an Assassin's Creed, or a new one that was like this big, evolving, like, sort of always online experience.
Like a
so GTA? It seems like they were going to make it... Sort of, I think. So it seems like they were going to make it sort of like a service where over time, or maybe like a Fortnite. You know how Fortnite, like every 2 months you feel like, or 3 months, they go through some major change where like some big event happens and the whole game sort of like flips. Like, that's what I'm thinking they're trying to do with this Assassin's Creed thing, which would be quite easy because whatever the software's called that they use to
pre-existing,
like put the people in the Assassin's Creed world. I forget what it's called. The Animus. Sorry, yeah. So, like, it'd be quite easy to base it off the Animus and then be like, oh, okay, we're time traveling. So you can quickly sort of jump between different time periods and, like, you know, not have to worry too much about, like, the plot and things like that, because you can just be like, oh, it's just the Animus playing up.
Right.
you know. Um, and so like that's what I'm thinking maybe it would be,
Very
but
interesting.
I don't know. They could be working on that here in Sydney, like within this new office. I'm not sure. That would be exciting if they were. But who knows? You know, I guess we'll just have to wait and see
Yeah.
if they announce anything. I doubt we're going to get any announcements soon.
I doubt it.
But, you know. But yeah, kind of exciting. You know, I guess it's also good too that because obviously the video game sort of industry here in Australia is quite lacking compared to a lot of other countries. You know, we don't have as much of a facility for video game creation and all that sort of stuff. So a lot of the studios here that operate in Australia are indie. You know, so they don't have as big a reach as, you know, the big AAA studios like Ubisoft and Rockstar and you know, all that sort of stuff. So
Would that be because
it'd be exciting if they did.
Because of our internet infrastructure?
I doubt it. Why would you want to move here for the internet? That's horrible.
No. Like, that's why we don't have any, because of the internet.
Oh, no, I don't think. I think most of it comes down to, like, the government sort of not giving grants
Funding,
and things
right.
like that to a lot of these studios and companies. You know, like even our movie industry is sort of similar. We don't have as big a movie industry here just because the government doesn't really subsidize it that much, and you know, all that sort of jazz. Like I'm not the biggest. I don't have that much knowledge on it. I just know that I think that's a lot of the you know, the main issue. I think that's the first step that they need to get over. Having said that, I do think I remember reading an article from a week or two ago that said the Victorian government, I think it was giving more grants to video game studios that were operating in and out of Victoria, which is, you know, a great thing, a very good first step. So hopefully that's changing. You know, hopefully they can see that video games are the future of, like, you know, entertainment and sort of media and all that sort of stuff. So it's, I don't know. But I guess that could also be like that. Like maybe Ubisoft has some insider knowledge that the government here are going to start pushing a lot more for video games, and so they are opening up a studio here to sort of take advantage of that. And it's something I'm not too sure. But yeah, I'm excited to see what comes of it if they do open a studio. You know, obviously COVID's throwing a whole spanner in the works of things, so things can change very quickly and may not even happen at all. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, it would be very exciting. It'd be interesting to see what roles they have, you know, like, because I do IT at uni, so and I'm coming close to finishing my course, so
could have a look.
I don't know, Ubisoft. I don't know, like, I'm not amazing, but, like, you know, I'm always ready to learn. So, but yeah, I'll keep my underground. So I'll see what happens with it all. Yeah. But yeah, moving on to our sort of second last topic before we get into our ever so popular Loki discussion. Discord has bought an AI company called Centropity, to combat online abuse and harassment. Now, this is incredible.
This is great.
This is so needed. I have always been bewildered why they haven't used AI and stuff like that in the past to help combat this sort of stuff, you know, specifically in video games. Not so much just outside and on the internet and all that sort of stuff, but like in video games, you know, or if they do, it's quite easy to bypass the sort of very minimal features that they have, you know. There will always be a way around it, obviously. Like, it's not 100%, you know, safe and fail proof, but it, you know, at least we got that first line of defense. But yeah, so it's kind of exciting. You know, I'd be interested to see how well it works. You know, like Discord, they already have some sort of feature set in their server settings where, like, you can change the auto mod level. You know, like they already have an auto mod set for all servers that you create or that you run. There is some sort of auto moderation going on, unless you turn it off, that will filter you know, messages that may be, you know, certain words, obviously, like everyone knows the words that we're thinking of. You know, if you have these settings turned up to a high enough level, I think even on low, it will filter these out and and whatnot, So I guess this AI is just sort of to help like improve that and make that even better at recognizing these things. And obviously, AI being what it is, will obviously learn over time as well. So hopefully that will be able to combat like all of the workarounds that people come up with. Like if enough people like come up with a certain workaround for a certain word, and it gets reported enough, the AI could obviously adapt and recognize that and be like, oh shit, that's also meaning this. Remove it, filter it, whatever it might be. So it's kind of smart, like it's
it's a great
hopefully
investment. I hope it works as well, because like I don't know, I'm lucky enough to not really experience a lot of online harassment or abuse on Discord itself, but for those who,
I mean, the Discord community that you run is lovely. Like it's great. All the Twitch people.
Everyone's been lovely.
It's but
even personally, anyone can DM you, really.
Exactly. So, you're very accessible and all that sort of stuff. It's
So it's great to see that they're doing this, because I bet it happens to a lot of their users. And apparently they have 150 million monthly active users. So that's a lot of people that they need to.
That's it. Yeah.
Like
sort of wrangle in and
and
control.
that's not easy.
No, it's 150 people is hard, let alone 150 million. That's incredible.
I heard a story like somewhat related to this, but for this game jam, this developer, like they get a prompt and then you have to make a game. For the next day or 2 days. And their prompt is to keep something alive. And she made a website called "This Website Will Explode." If you don't type in, like, send a message to the website, it's like a forum board. If you don't send a message within 24 hours,
it'll be taken offline.
The website will self-destruct. And so like at the start, it was all really nice because you can be anonymous. There's no sort of, you don't have to sign up. Nothing.
Okay.
You just send a message. And so at the start, it was really nice. Some people, were using it to send positive things or to share, like, their life.
You get the first wave. You get the first wave of people in any sort of thing like this. You get the first wave of people that are super excited about it and super passionate about like the project or like the idea and stuff like that. But then slowly, as it becomes bigger and bigger, obviously the net and like the scope of the people that are accessing the sites and the services and whatnot get a lot larger. And obviously, when you increase a user base or a population for anything in life, obviously that's where it gets harder to sort of, I guess, cooperate. Not cooperate, but like, I guess, like, control. That the group, I guess, So
obviously the inevitable happened and all the trolls came on, but and like because it was only one person dealing with this, she like, even though she can put spam filters and like certain words on it.
There's only so much that they do as well.
Yeah, you can. There's so like. There's only, once that's done, then the rest they just work around it, and then so.
Exactly.
Hopefully,
it's only a matter of time until they figure out a way around it. It's
So I'm very curious on how this will be handled with an AI.
Yeah. I wonder how fast it'll be deployed, because our little write-up here doesn't have anything, like any sort of time frame as to when it might be deployed. Obviously, they're going to have to work with Centropy to figure out like some sort of integration and stuff like that with their services and their AIs and all that, So hopefully it's sooner rather than later, because, the world could do with a good cleanse of, the trolls and all that sort of stuff. It's, because it gets a bit tiring after a while, seeing the same shit day in, day out. You're like, oh my God, this again? Like, Like, I've now taken the time, when we play Siege of a night, I've now taken the time to record any instances of, like, sort of abuse or harassment or, like, racism or anything like that. Whether it be a screenshot, a video recording, what have you. And I'll honestly take the time. I'll be like, guys, give me 2 minutes. Like, after this game, I'm just going to sign off. I will honestly go and email Ubisoft support, send them the video footage, and be like, please. Like, it just, because after a while, you just get sick of it, Like, every game, it felt like you'd finding people that were just, just being dumb.
And like not even
And,
like you know, it doesn't really get to you. Like you're pretty strong
no,
mentally,
yeah,
but like
yeah,
imagine for someone who either is caught on the wrong day or
yeah,
just
exactly.
can't really handle it. Like it
Yep.
just sucks.
It's a big turnoff, not just for the game that you're
Oh,
playing. Like for example,
100%.
Siege. Like it's not just a big turnoff just to play Siege. It's a big turnoff just to play any game online ever. You
Totally.
know, like I remember talking about this sort of stuff a good couple of weeks ago about
Yeah.
women in games, and it's like it's so disheartening when you hear stories of like all these women out there that are like, yeah, I just won't even talk in
Yeah.
online games. Like I won't even say anything in the text chat. I won't even say anything in voice chat, just so there's an off chance that someone doesn't abuse me just for being a woman. You know,
Yeah.
like, and that's horrible. Like I can't imagine having to go through that. You know, sort of just wanting to relax at the end of the day and play a video game. Like it's
Yeah, no,
insane.
it sucks. And like after Emma is like really amazing at that because she does not care. And it's like I just cannot.
She'll give it back. She'll give it back as much as she
But
gets
she's as witty. Like it helps for her to be so witty.
She's really quick on the ball. Yeah.
So yeah, it's been great to play with her and just see her like
Yeah.
she does not care.
No, that's sort of the attitude that I feel like you've got to have to combat these people is like, don't take it to heart. They're literally just there to cause havoc and like, you know, to make you leave the game or to make you, you know, sort of angry and play bad and all that sort of stuff. It's usually just that they're very bored in life or that they,
Totally.
you know, don't have many friends and things
Just
like that. So
trolls.
they sort of have other outlets to just be sort of idiots on the internet. And like Jen's alluded to before, a lot of these things on the internet, you know, there's anonymity that comes with them. So obviously there's no way for you to track down who they are. So they sort of feel like they're a bit safe with that like wall in front of them.
Yeah, you can say anything
"You can't
behind
catch
the
me."
keyboard,
Like,
but
yeah,
try say it
100%.
to our face.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyways,
But
it's gonna
yeah.
get
So hopefully Centropy works for Discord. I really hope it does, you know, and then I guess I hope I see it's good to see like such a big company like Discord sort of take this initiative.
Totally.
You know, this sort of first step to working towards this. And hopefully other companies out there do follow suit and, you know, maybe not just with Centropy, but like, you know, develop their own AIs or like, you know, invest in, you know, all these sorts of companies that are going to help it. So it's, hopefully it works.
It's really great to see.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Now,
Marvel.
my favorite part of the week, I think. Wednesdays have become my favorite part of the week. Now, if you haven't watched episode 5, I would strongly suggest you to watch it because it is by far my favorite episode of Loki so far. I absolutely adored it.
Pretty good.
This was outstanding, I feel. But yeah, so if you haven't watched it, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll hopefully see you again shortly once you've watched it. But if you have watched it, congratulations. You have made it to the secret part of the episode.
Yay.
Like always. Jens, how did you feel about this episode? Because like I just said, this is probably by far my favorite Loki episode so far.
Yeah.
It was outstanding. I think it had a little bit of everything, you know? It had like the action, it had the humor, it had like sort of little heartfelt bits. It had the suspense. It was everything.
It was really good. The thing that I mostly remember about this one was the monster, Alioth. Alias.
Alioth, yeah. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I can't remember really, but yeah.
But that moment just before the old man Loki does his thing, get eaten by it. The moment where that.
Well, hang on. Do you reckon he's dead?
I'm guessing he's dead because of like the demonstration of the Alias against that ship.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't know because I can't remember if that ship was the ship was there.
I don't think he is.
You don't reckon?
I think because he was such a powerful, like Old Man Loki was so powerful that he was able to conjure
a whole city.
Oh, what is it called? It's like a whole city, but he was able to conjure a I forget what they call it. where they like he's in place of something else. Oh, it's gonna bug me. But yeah, he basically conjured this whole city out of nowhere as a way to distract Elioth from Sylvie and Loki, our Loki, so they could sort of like either try and swipe past it or get into its head and control it. But I think because he's so powerful, he was able to conjure a version of himself that was then able to conjure that city. I feel like that would be a big twist, because you know how they've alluded to in the past that like I even said it in this episode as well. Old Man Loki was like, I've managed to get past things just by being able to conjure such a realistic version of myself that people were able to believe that was me and whatnot. So I feel like that was sort of foreshadowing him doing the same thing. Or something. Like, obviously it would take away the whole weight of his sacrifice of like, you know,
the thing he said at the very just before he went, like glorious purpose, that would take away from that.
It would take away the whole thing, but I also feel like it would be kind of cool and obviously very Loki like, you know, it's very sneaky, it's very cunning, it's very like, you know, all that sort of stuff. I feel like it would, I think it'd be very on character, at least, you know. Like, yeah,
maybe we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, we got within an hour and a half. I think the episode will be out for us now on the day of recording. So it's the finale. Jeez. Yeah, I can't wait. Next week we'll have obviously our thoughts on the finale, and I will have watched Black Widow by then. I'm planning to watch it tonight with my girlfriend. So
I have seen Black Widow, but Ramo hasn't, so we won't be discussing it today.
No. But it also gives you guys time to watch it if you haven't already. You know, I'm very excited to watch it. I've seen, I've tried to avoid all that I can on the internet. I'm usually pretty good with Marvel things.
They've been pretty good.
But
with it.
I have seen people talking quite highly about it. So I'm quite excited for that. You know, obviously there's also the people out there that are like, this is the worst thing Marvel's ever done. I hate it.
Who said
Why
that?
do they even make, like, you know. But I don't know. It probably just Reddit trolls. But yeah. We also got like a ton of Easter eggs in this episode of Loki that I do want to touch on. A fair few of them. So obviously we got to meet all the Lokis. Yeah. And I'm going to consider that an Easter egg in itself, because they obviously all come from different timelines, different, you know, places and stuff like that. We got a bunch of them. Alligator Loki was my absolute favorite. I think he was great. Very emotional in his delivery for a lot of the lines that he did.
Really
so
like him.
Props to him. I'm pretty sure I saw this morning he did get nominated for a Primetime Emmy. So hopefully he wins that. Would be absolutely incredible for the alligator community. You know, I think one of the first of its kind. So
alligator representation.
We're waiting for the announcement of that. But no, I do absolutely love Alligator Loki. He was great. Very, very good sort of comedic use, I guess. Yeah. Of you know, a weird situation.
And like we speculated that maybe he wasn't. It was like a Loki in alligator form. Yeah. But I'm actually really glad it's just an alligator.
Same. It makes it so much more better that it is just an average old. Well, not an average, but like, you know, sort of just an alligator, like with a Loki hat. It's great. But the other Easter eggs, obviously, other than all the other versions of Loki's, I did notice it when we first watched it, but the Thanos copter. I don't know if you saw this, Jens. It was quite like, it was sort of a blink and you miss it type thing. But when I think it was right at the start of the episode where I think it was not right at the start. I think it was when Sylvie and Loki first met up in the void at the end of time, and they were walking away from something. When a camera pans, you see this yellow helicopter in the background that has in big black text on the tail of the helicopter the words Thanos.
No way.
And it's an Easter egg to like some of the original comics in you know, from like the 60s or 70s, where Thanos would travel around in a helicopter. Called the Thanos copter. So it is kind of stupid, but like it was a fun little Easter egg. You know, it just stupid shit that Marvel puts in there just for the sake of it.
Right.
There was also the Avengers Tower. They got showcased. So I think in the first part of the episode where they panned over the Void at the End of Time to like track down, I think, where Loki was. Like there was sort of just big pan reveal thing.
Yeah.
That was traveling through like a version of New York. And I'm guessing it's a version of New York from an alternate timeline that obviously lost against Loki or lost against Thanos or something from the first Avengers movie. But there was also the Avengers Tower, obviously, in that Rumble and all that wreck. But it wasn't Avengers Tower owned by Tony Stark. It was owned by a company called Quang Enterprises. Which I don't want to get into too much detail because it is going to spoil my assumption from last week, which Jens doesn't really want to know about.
So is it coming true?
If it does, this is sort of like a subtle nod to it.
Okay.
But if it doesn't, I feel like this is just like a subtle nod to throw people off the scent of it. But yeah, I feel like I'm going to wait till next week. If my theory does come true, then this was like a sort of a nudge in the right direction. If it doesn't come true, this was like a sort of a smoke haze they were using to trick us all. I guess as Loki's would do. So kind of fun. And then I initially thought this was just a miniature version of Thor in a jar. But it turned out like if you watch it really closely, it was a frog Thor called Throg.
Oh.
Yeah. And so like on the jar it had like
I've got it
like
up.
T365.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my memory's so good.
Yeah, how did I know?
Because it was from like Thor issue number 365 or something. Where Loki turned Thor into a frog.
Wow.
So it was like quite a little fun little like nod to that, as well. And apparently, what's his name? Mr. Hemsworth himself. Apparently he recorded new lines just for that, like new grunts or like whatever he did, which I find quite hard to believe. I feel like that's a bit silly. Like it was like maybe 2 seconds he was on the screen and he maybe grunted a couple of times. Like I feel like it would be kind of like this is just coming from a business standpoint, and obviously Marvel don't really have to accommodate this because they make so much goddamn money, but like it feels kind of dumb to pay him like let's say $60,000 to record 3 grunts, that it can be used in 2 seconds of footage. Like that feels kind of dumb.
Yeah, well,
I feel like they could have got away with like just repurposing some old grunts that you used in like Avengers or something. But I guess Marvel can do what they want with their money. So
or nothing.
All the best. And there's probably a ton of other Easter eggs that I missed as well, but these were just the ones that stand out to me or the ones that I got most excited about. So I guess if you guys had any other Easter eggs, let us know in the comments, because I would like to hear more. I'm like
I
have seen a
down
lot around the internet.
I've
seen a lot on the internet of people doing like Easter egg breakdowns and all that sort of stuff, but I sometimes don't like reading into them too much. These were the ones that I sort of noticed in episode and like could catch on a little bit. Which are the Easter eggs that I like the most and find the most exciting, because they're the ones that you like in the moment you're like, holy shit, that means this and this and this, and it sort of feels a bit like, I guess, not cheap, but like it's a bit weird afterwards if you have to go back and research an Easter egg for it to make sense. Like I don't know.
Right. I mean, it's kind of cool. Like for example, that ship that the Void swallowed.
Yes.
The aliens.
What's it? There was another ship as well in it that Emma pointed out. She thought it was Thanos' ship, but it was actually Ronan the Accuser's from Guardians. Do you remember like the big ship that looks like it was sort of like a spiral? I guess like if you look up Ronan the Accuser ship MCU, you'll notice it and you'll see it. But that was crashed in one of the shots as well.
This is the one where they made
cool.
the example of how powerful Alias was.
Yes. Yeah.
So you see like the whole crew get eaten up basically, and which is why I think Old Man Loki is dead. But apparently that's like a ship in 1983 that went invisible. So it's like a little
nod to that.
Yeah, a little nod to that, to having it connect to each other. which is interesting
That's kind of cool, yeah.
and very
I
random.
mean, Marvel, they're the king of Easter eggs. You know, everything you watch, even if
Has
it's like
one.
one episode of like, you know, Falcon and Winter Soldier, is gonna have an Easter egg in
Yeah.
it. They always provide some sort of fan service, so it's always exciting. You know, you sort of don't want to look away in any of these Marvel movies or TV shows, just out of fear of missing, you know, an Easter egg or something.
Yeah, I feel like
because sometimes they could be so subtle, like
it definitely pays to watch it,
yeah,
like again as well, because
yeah,
the first
for
playthrough
sure.
of anything, you just do not catch everything.
No way. You're always going to see more, and you know, you're going to understand more, not just like, you know, catch Easter eggs, but like things might make more sense plot wise and stuff like that if you watch it a second or a third time. And you know, but yeah, having said that, I haven't rewatched any of the TV shows just because it's too soon. I
Yeah,
usually
me
like have
too.
like a 6 month or a year buffer before I rewatch something. Otherwise, it's like too soon, and you're like, ugh, you know, you sort of,
I agree.
you find yourself being lazy and not watching it and stuff like that because you've seen it again so recently.
Yeah.
So, having said that, though, I haven't done a rewatch of all of the MCU movies for a good while. So
I've
I
actually
feel like
been
that's in
thinking
order
to
soon.
do that too.
Yeah. Should we do a movie club thing where each week we watch a new MCU movie?
Oh
for
my god, that
how,
could be
how
so
many,
cute.
Is it like 30
It's a lot.
movies or something, I think?
Let me
Trying to do
see.
a 30-week movie review thing.
How many movies in
There's a lot.
24?
There's a lot. 20. Okay, that's not. Yeah, that's not that bad.
It's
That's
not
24
that bad.
weeks.
When is that
That's not that bad.
updated?
Well, that obviously there hasn't been a Marvel movie. Well, actually,
2021.
that won't include. That won't. Oh, does it include Black Widow then? Okay. Cool.
Would it? It still says
I mean, if it was
24.
updated, if it was updated 2021,
Oh yeah, it includes Black Widow.
I would guess so. So yeah.
Includes everything. So like
Yeah,
even
it's come
Shang-Chi
out today.
and
Yep.
Eternals and
Oh, okay. So everything coming out this year. Okay, so
this
it's probably
year,
20.
yeah.
Yeah, it's probably. I think it'll be 20 movies then. That's doable. That's very doable. 20 weeks. Come on. That's 4 months.
Yeah, because I wish I remembered a lot of it. There's just so many movies.
Yeah. There is. Like, and that's the thing too. Is like I don't think I could recite to you everything that happened in Iron Man 1. Like, it's been such a long time since I've seen it. I think so. You know, even the first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I could recite everything that happened in that.
Like,
so
I had to watch
it'd be good to go back and watch them.
Loki Legends episode
The
just
recap
to
thing, yep.
just to refresh my memory on certain things. And I just completely forgot how much of a bad guy Loki was. He was like the main enemy for
but you
a
can
while.
also see how much he's changed though over the years, like, and he's sort of shifted and he's become a bit more grey. You know, he's sort of in the middle now.
Yeah.
Like, it's But having said that though, I did see, sort of off topic, sort of on topic. They're on Disney Plus. They're doing a sort of a special documentary episode just for the last episode of The Mandalorian season 2, where spoiler alert. Actually, no, I'm not going to say spoiler alert. Where so and so appears to you know, do his thing. I don't know if you remember it or not.
Oh yeah,
the guy with the yep. Okay, cool. Yeah, and they're doing a special sort of documentary on that and how that came apart and how they shot it and how they're gonna weave it into, like, you know, I guess the overarching story of the Star Wars universe. So I was like, that's kind of cool. I'm gonna watch that. I think it's coming out this month.
Oh,
I
cool.
think, if not next month.
Yep.
But I saw that and I was like, cool. Adding that to my watch list. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Because all of these Disney Plus documentary things have been great so far. So, yeah. Having said that too, I can't wait for the Loki one.
Yeah, me too, actually. Yeah, I'd be down to
you know,
watch these.
20 weeks, 20 Marvel movies. It could be done. It could be done.
Before September 3rd.
I guess again, true.
Because
that's when it's really gonna start. That's when it's really gonna start kicking off. As soon as it hits the end of the year, like September, because we get one in September, and then I think November and December. I think November is Eternals, and then December is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So, you know, at the end of the year is going to be a busy year for us all.
So excited.
But I'm very excited about it because it was like remember the lead up to like Endgame and all that sort of stuff.
Yes,
it felt like there was a new movie like every 5 months, 4 months, 5 months or something. It was
there were
amazing.
a lot.
Like it was But you know, hopefully we're out of lockdown by then, so we can at least go and sit in the cinema, you know, and experience it how it was meant to be. Because I'm gonna be quite sad that I have to watch Black Widow on my laptop, you know.
At least it's
I could try and sneak a TV.
This
but,
ain't you know, a nudge to Black Widow or anything, but at least it's Black Widow and not like it's huge.
It's
like,
not an end game.
Yeah,
it's not a big culmination sort of movie. It's you know, it's like a middle of the roads movie.
Yeah, so I think at least it's that.
Yeah,
you know, at least it's not Spider-Man or.
Yeah. Oh, bro, don't get me started. My God. Oh, having said that, did you see Tom Holland? Is that right?
Yeah, I'm sad and happy.
Why?
I was so sad.
Did you think you could get Tom Holland?
I don't know. I was just so sad.
I wanted Tom Holland. I called dibs. You know this. I called dibs.
Well,
He's played
after
Spider-Man,
you.
man. Come on. Okay, fine. Yeah, you can have seconds. That's fine.
Yeah, I was like really sad, and then I was like, you know, no, this is good. I think it's very cute.
But yeah, it was. It is. It's very adorable.
It was bound to happen.
Emma said she sees a bit of Tom Holland in me, which I was very excited to hear. More so because like you see the photos of like sort of when they looked like they were gonna kiss or like when they kissed or something, and then you saw the photo of him like really like.
Yes,
smiling really big, and it's like, she says I do that, you know, from time to time. So I think that's what she was getting at. Not that I look like Tom Holland, although I would love to.
I can see a little bit resemblance.
I don't know. I guess Disney will have to send me a suit.
Oh yeah, to really,
and then we
see.
and then we can really compare and see.
Yeah,
so
that's a good idea.
Disney, I'll send you my email thing. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for the episode this week. I think we got through all we wanted to. Nothing else you wanted to add on before we wrap up, gents?
No, nothing from me.
No, okay, yeah, same old for me. Nothing too much to add, but I guess thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching once again, and we will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.